Unless you've been on a job search in the last 2 years, you do not know how bad it is out here. The job market is trash. Basura, it's been bad. I'm talking about applying to 20 jobs a day, reaching out to recruiters, doing this on LinkedIn, and hearing crickets. People are trying. People are not lazy. And then people who have a job give the most useless advice, like, why don't you tailor your resume to every single job? You don't think that I've done that? Unless your job is hiring and you have a referral, zip it.
The job market in America, despite some headlines touting strong employment numbers, remains deeply flawed for many workers. Beneath the surface of low unemployment rates lies a more troubling reality: stagnant wages, the rise of gig and contract work with little to no benefits, and a persistent mismatch between job openings and workers' skills or needs. Many of the jobs being created are low-paying, unstable, or located in areas with high living costs. Meanwhile, middle-class jobs that offer long-term stability, benefits, and upward mobility have shrunk over the past few decades. This has left millions of Americans working multiple part-time roles just to make ends meet. Young adults face crushing student debt and often end up underemployed, working in jobs that don't require their degrees. Older workers, on the other hand, frequently struggle with age discrimination and find it hard to re-enter the workforce after being laid off. Automation and AI continue to replace routine tasks, and while tech advancements promise new opportunities, they often come without the retraining necessary to help workers transition. Corporate profits are soaring, but worker wages haven't kept pace with inflation. As a result, many Americans are working harder than ever but still can't afford basic needs like healthcare, housing, or education.
I'm done. I've been applying to jobs for the past 2 years since I graduated. I have 2 degrees. I had 2 internships in college. I was top of my class. Since graduating, I have published a book. And yet that's still not good enough for you people. You still want 5 to 10 years of experience for an entry-level job. Where do you think we're supposed to get this experience?
It literally blows my mind how many people are underestimating just how cooked the 2025 job market is. Candidates who are qualified, struggling to find work. I'm hearing about people who are having to go through 6 or 7, 8 or 9 months of searching for a job. I've even talked to multiple people who have been on the job hunt for like multiple years. They have to apply to more jobs than they've ever had to in the past. They get ghosted and into like a black hole for most of those jobs. And then if they do get to go through an interview process, it's like 7 or 8, even 9 or 10 rounds of interviews. I'm hearing about nonstop assessments, nonstop homework, and they're going up against like 5 or 6 other really qualified people. And the worst part of it all is once you get through all these interviews and all this homework, a lot of times these companies are just throwing out lowball offers. So if you're not on a job search, don't judge people who are, because this is like the worst job market we've seen in decades.
I'm so sick and tired of applying to jobs, going through 3-4 interviews just for them to tell me a month later that I didn't get the job. If you're a recruiter, you need to start like telling people that they didn't get the job after the first interview at this point. Like, I'm so sick of applying. I went on an interview with this company 4 times. It took them a month to tell me that I was not getting the job. I actually had to reach out to them just to see if the position was still open. This is ridiculous. Like, there was another job I did 4 interviews for. I filled out my references and everything just for them to tell me that they went with the internal candidate. Like, come on. I'm so tired of this job shit. It's getting on my nerves. Like, I'm sick of it.
Adding insult to injury, the modern job interview process in America has become a grueling, often humiliating obstacle course. Candidates are forced to jump through endless hoops, multiple rounds of interviews, personality tests, sample projects, group panels, and even unpaid trial work, just to be told weeks later that the company has gone in another direction. It's demoralizing, especially when you've spent hours preparing, traveling, and performing emotional labor just to be ghosted or rejected without feedback. And if you do land the job, for many, it's not a victory. It's the beginning of another struggle. You're likely to be underpaid, overworked, and expected to be grateful for the opportunity. Raises are rare, promotions even rarer, and benefits? Many jobs, especially in retail, food service, and gig work, offer little to no healthcare, paid time off, or job security. You're told to act like family at a company that wouldn't hesitate to cut your hours or replace you with an app if it saved a few dollars. The worst part? Workers are burning out. Mental health suffers, physical health deteriorates, and yet millions have no choice but to keep grinding in this broken system just to survive. This isn't just a tough job market, it's an exploitative one.
So I'm trying to be grown, right? I got my blazer on, got these long ass alligator heels on. But look, my damn feet hurt. I didn't walk damn near a block and my car all the way over here. Ain't this some shit? And look, if you live in LA and you got a job, keep your damn job, because the job market is ghetto. Damn!
If you're asking me to come in to 3 and 4 interviews, the chances are I'm just not interested in that job anymore. If your selection process takes more than a month, there's a decent chance that I'm not interested in that job anymore. If I have to re-explain my entire resume at every step of the process because it's obvious those interviewing me didn't even bother to glance at it, I'm probably not interested in that job anymore. If you refuse to give concrete salary ranges until the offer letter is sent out, I'm probably not interested in that job anymore. If you don't want to be honest and transparent with your applicants, that is your prerogative. But good applicants are also not going to wait around and wait for you to figure it out.
Our market is so bad right now that when you're trying to apply for a job, your ratio of even getting the job that you're applying for is 0 to none. Also, if you have a job, the job market is so bad that your job is overworking you and still paying you the same salary. They're switching up schedules on you, giving you more work, less pay, cutting budgets on you, pretty much jerking you around all around because they know where the job market is. They know even if you're looking for somewhere else to go, that's also going to probably jerk you around, that they could take advantage of you. Right now, it's like employment abuse going on. Like, you literally are underpaid, tired, and stressed out if you have a job. And if you don't have a job, you're stressed out because you can't find a job and you've been applying to over 100 places pretty much a week, or you've been unemployed for more than 2 years trying to find a job. The job market right now is so bad that you're literally getting used as a human being. It's super sad.
That one guy that came on here and said that the job market is so bad he's considering going into nursing is so me, because I have explored, I feel like, every single avenue of how I can get a job quick and that actually pays. I would never look into nursing no matter how desperate I am. I'm so sorry. But I've looked into like ultrasound, rad tech. Even though I have my degree, like my bachelor's, like I've considered going back to community college and doing the programs. But then as I did more research, I realized how competitive they are. And like even then, like for example, like a rad tech, you're exposed to the radiation. Ultrasound techs, like your wrists are always hurting because you're like constantly doing the movement or whatever. Not to mention it's healthcare. Like there's some really rude people. Let's see what else. I've considered being an ice cream man, doing the laundromat. Like, have y'all seen where they buy the laundromat or whatever? One time I even got offered a job as a dancer. Sometimes I still think about that. Because it's hell out here.
The United States job market is cooked. For reference, in the past few months, I've applied to 1,400 jobs on LinkedIn alone. And I've applied to hundreds of jobs on Indeed. Hundreds of jobs on the company's direct website, and I've gone around in person to around 100 jobs, giving out my resume and having interviews that way. And I'm here to tell you from firsthand experience, it's all a sham. It's a disaster. Hiring managers aren't doing their job, and companies are posting ghost jobs. Oh, not to mention, super profitable companies such as Google are now laying off employees, although they're having record-breaking profits. All well, boomers and people that don't understand on the outside that have a no touch with reality go, oh, you're just not working hard enough. Or people go and get a job in retail. Look, some of these jobs are minimum wage. The worst part about it all is how discouraging it's become. It's almost like I want to accept defeat, but I'm not going to. But I'll go so many times through 3, 4, even 5 rounds of interviews just for them to tell me that I'm not the right candidate for them, and then they'll repost the job. They're saying we're urgently hiring. It's a load of shit. It's a lie. And it makes me really frustrated. Thankfully, I'm going to be starting some side hustles that'll be getting me some extra income because this job market is so cooked. We are in a disastrous job market economy right now. There's no other way to sugarcoat it. It's a shit show.
So, what does all this say about the American job market? You go through 5 interviews, give them your best ideas, maybe even complete unpaid tasks, only to be rejected without a word. And if you're lucky enough to land the job, you're paid peanuts, expected to do the work of 3 people, offered no real benefits, and constantly reminded that you're replaceable. Is this really what work in America has come to? Endless hustle, zero reward, and no dignity? Or can we demand better? Fair pay, reasonable hours, and basic respect in the workplace? Let me know what you think in the comments. Have you experienced this kind of burnout or interview madness? Share your story. I read them all. If you found this video thought-provoking, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a new upload from Orbit Point. Let's keep the conversation going because if we don't talk about it, nothing changes.